We're following up tonight on a homicide case that rocked the Flagstaff community this summer. Kelly Paduchowski was first reported missing by her husband in late June. Now he is in custody.
Authorities say her husband Daniel confessed and led them to her remains as part of an unusually quick plea deal. Well, now new court documents are giving insight into the exact digital evidence Flagstaff Police is working with in this case.
Our true crime correspondent Briana Whitney is here tonight, staying on top of this case for us. Briana, what are we learning from this pile of documents you got?
Yeah, quite a bit. So we already knew there was physical evidence in this case, including drops of blood and bloody footprints found outside the Paduchowskis' home in Flagstaff. But now we know the magnitude of the digital evidence in this case and what exactly police have, including hours of interviews with Daniel Paduchowski himself before he takes police to his wife's remains in the woods.
New details unfolding tonight in the weeks leading up to sentencing for the Flagstaff father and husband accused of murdering his wife Kelly Paduchowski at the end of June. Police say Daniel Paduchowski led them on a crosstown search for his wife in early July before surprisingly leading detectives to her body days later and taking a plea deal. The same day, police announced he was charged with murder.
In this day and age, that's super rare.
Russ Richelsoph is a criminal defense attorney unaffiliated with the case, analyzing the unusual swift nature of a missing persons report, search, confession, and plea deal resolution all within a week. Part of why a quick plea deal is surprising in this case is due to the amount of evidence. A new court filing revealing the mountain of digital evidence Flagstaff Police has and exactly what that is. We now know some of that includes 40 hours of interview footage with Daniel Paduchowski, 16 audio recordings, including 911 calls, 165 ring door cameras, 15 body camera videos, 11 business surveillance videos, and 1,093 photographs. Richelsoph says this case specifically highlights the change in the kind of evidence law enforcement and attorneys have access to.
Just the amount of digital evidence available, has just over the years, it's gotten more and more.
The court filing also reveals police began surveillance on Snowball Road on July 3rd, which was on the way up the mountain to where Kelly's body was recovered on July 5th, and that they have 84 pictures alone from the body recovery scene. So typically, Richelsoph says a case like this would take months, if not years, to play out because of this evidence.
The attorneys really insist on having the time necessary to go through all of the evidence.
But he says ultimately how a case plays out is decided by the defendant. And in this case, it was likely Daniel Paduchowski's guilty conscience that superseded any legal recommendations.
And when I see this, I suspect the factors at play weren't really legal. The factors at play were emotional.
And the court filing also shows that all the hours of video recordings they have, some of that includes Daniel leading officers to his wife's dead body and describing in detail what he did to her. We are still waiting to learn what his motive is and was, where other evidence was found in addition to her body, and what the murder weapon was. Daniel is set to be sentenced on September 10th. It's coming up.
When all of this went down and that plea deal came out, I think all of us kind of gasped in the newsroom because it's just unheard of that it happened so quickly. Yeah. So because of that plea deal that he made, what does it mean for the amount of years that he could get?
So he pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. The presumptive sentence for that is 16 years. That's likely what we will see in this case. I think it goes from 10 to 25. 10 is the minimum and 25 being the maximum, but 16 is what we're expecting to see. Had he been charged with something more, I mean, it could have been the higher end of second-degree murder. It also, depending on what the evidence was, could have been first. He could have spent a lot more time in prison than he is now. And I think a lot of the reason for that is because he and Kelly had 2 young kids.
I was just going to say, and as far as we know, the 2 young children are with other family members.
They are, yes. As far as we know, they are safe with other family. But it's just a tragic case.
Absolutely. All right, Briana, thank you.